Zealand snowy entertainment. So what they do in New Zealand on the off days when we can't get out of the lodge to go hunting, this is what we do.
So yeah, we lost power. We had a couple of days where we were snowed in at the lodge. Fortunately, it was a very nice lodge to get snowed into, and we weren't up in a spike camp on this trip.
This was the first time that I've ever hunted with my family as a whole in a place where we had, they could be comfortable as well. And, sometimes you just have to throttle back. I'm kind of like an extreme type of hunting guy, but I really enjoyed the fact that my family was comfortable on this hunt.
All right, so let me get this straight. You guys are gonna build a wall, and then you're gonna throw snowballs at each other.
Me and Joey were on a team against Tor and Reese, and we had a fort war.
The kids, I thought, got along really, really well, and it was very cool to see different age groups. And even though it's only a couple of years from a parent's perspective, if you go back to when you were a child, there's a big difference between a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old.
We had a snowball fight after that, using our fort to block, as our shield, our base. And whoever's was knocked down first lost. And yeah, me and Joey won that. It was really fun.
I love it. This is the first time that my boys have met the Whitings children. And I just think that they've all just getting along like they've known each other for years and years. And the kids have been an amazing vehicle for all of us coming together even closer than we were beforehand.
Absolutely.
Before this trip.
Almost every year we go out somewhere and we're around a lot of people. We play the laughing game and the accent game. And it is where somebody goes up and does something funny and tries to make other people laugh. And whoever laughs is up next, and it's just really a continuous don't laugh or you're up sort of thing, and it's really funny.
Joey's up. Yeah. What did you do?
She's up. You're up.
Also, when we got snowed in, I think it's the most snow New Zealand's had in quite some time, if ever. It was interesting to watch where they all figured out their place in the food chain.
Everybody's getting along well, and so on. There's just a lot of board games going, card games going, enjoyment around the fire. There's a lot of lodge life, I would say, even when the weather is so bad that you can't go out to go hunt.
We just woke up, and this is what we woke up to, and the power's out, and it's basically just like a big, humongous snowstorm, and the power's gonna be out for a couple days apparently. So yeah, we're snowed in. For a snow adventure! Better? No, I'm kidding.
Didn't stop, did it? I don't want you guys to get wrong. Good weather with you, Manny.
So I am left eye dominant, which means I'm right-handed, but I can't close my left eye. I can't close this eye.
This one gets covered, honey. This is your left eye dominant.
I know, but I want to shoot right-handed. That's the reason I want them.
Yes, and it's exactly what we're doing.
Oh.
So the thing is, look, they're so scratched up, you can't see through them. So we'll keep this lens here, we'll cover it with tape, and take this lens out, and you'll just be able to look normal. Okay?
So we cover the left eye up, and then you just look with this eye. And so, yeah, that's how the glasses work.
So what led me to asking the other guys to work with my boys, things your dad or mom are telling you, but you're just unable to listen to it or hear it. And so hearing it from a different adult who you respect from a different vantage point, I think can go wonders as far as teaching your children. It tells me what the wind's doing. See 1.7, see how when this thing moves, right? The wind blows.
tells us what the temperature is. What's it say for Fahrenheit? How many degrees?
37. Good, I like that gun a lot better. It doesn't kick at all. It's almost like shooting a 22.
Yes, it's my gun.
Triple Beard, the first all-lead turkey load from the makers of Heavy Shot. Speedball technology reduces deformation on setback, keeping the pellets more uniform and reduces the pancake effect of lead. Magnum Blend technology, which is a mix of 5s, 6s, and 7s, lets you take gobblers at any range, whether it's up close and personal or you gotta reach out and touch one. It's available in 3 and 3.5 inch 12 gauge, as well as 3 inch 20 gauge. Check out the new Triple Beard at HeavyShot.com.
The pecking order, so to speak, we wanted to hunt together and share all of the moments. We didn't really draw straws or anything like that. It just kind of fell to place. So Nikki went first. I think that everybody just kind of wanted to see that happen.
At first sight, all these animals were kind of huddled together because of the weather that we had. My first day of hunting was the first day of stag hunting.
It made everything really emotional for me, especially when I was around my mom, because I've never seen her hunt before, and that was a great experience.
The weather, you know, is definitely a lot of snow that came down that day, and it's pretty hard to tromp it through. We didn't bring snowshoes and we didn't bring snow gear.
30 inches of snow, 50 centimetres, something like that. I mean, I've never even worked in conditions like that before. It's totally unreal, really.
So our gear held up well, our shoes held up well in that snow, and we trudged through it, got lots of exercise, hiked up the hill, down the hill, wished we had some sleds.
There's one on the left-hand side, not the front one, the one behind him. I'll give you a look at him through the spotter, but that's quite a nice stag. And then there's one sort of third from the right over the far back.
Yeah, so the animals, obviously, the feed areas are a lot smaller because of the snow. They just can't push through it. It's a lot harder to get through. So they're going to be in lower, sort of where the creeks are, because that clears away a lot of the snow more quickly, and it's generally where more of the feed is, so that's where the animals will be. So they're in sort of tighter groups.
It looks like he's got a bit of a sticker, big heavy head.
Yeah, the one in the middle's got really good fronts.
And honestly, I've never even seen a stag outside of a magazine before or a picture, so to view them on the ground, I was like, which one's a stag? What's a stag? What's a fallow? Are the, you know, I mean, it was just crazy, all the horns. It was magnificent. It was very impressive. Like he's the third one.
The very first one, huh? The very first of the 3 stags.
So should I go for it?
Yeah, put it right on him and squeeze it.
Gosh, that's a long shot.
Well, we're at 285, so we could just, maybe if we slip out of side, we could sidle up there and just get set up really nicely.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're not as spooky, and then, you know, make the shot count.
Okay, let's try it.
Once we got into position, you know, the stags were playing follow the leader on the hill, and I had my sights on a stag that had a beautiful drop tine. However, I could not make a good shot, and I chose against trying to get him and went for the stag that was third back.
He made a great shot.
I think there was like 270 yards in the end. It's an awesome shot.
Oh my goodness. we just happened upon, 5 beautiful stags, and I just took one.
It's just a sky full of horns up there, so it's difficult to kind of pick one out and choose it. Nick did a great job. Awesome shot.
Being a hunting family, that means we do take animals, but we want to make sure that our shots are always ethical, that we feel good about them, and I have to feel good about my shot. And that first stag, I couldn't feel good about it, and I wanted to make sure I felt good about it. So that's important to me, so I can live with myself and make sure that the animal is taken correctly the first time, the first shot.
Such heightened emotion, of course, after climbing this big hill. You just want to cry when you see him. He's beautiful. I mean, it's just, you know, it obviously looks a lot like an elk from Idaho, where we're from, and just greater, much more magnificent, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, hun?
I think it's amazing. I love the symmetry on the bull and the fronts, and you've obviously made a fantastic shot. I mean, and just the fact that we're like on the side of this cliff. If you go back too far here, you're gonna who knows what.
I think if I let go, I'd fall through the tree here.
It's quite a
hanging on to my boy.
Yeah. Dominant shooting glasses that the boys helped me arrange.
Hey, pitch.
He's a pirate.
Yeah.
Arr. I know some people that don't even have a dad and they hunt by themselves, and it's kind of heartbreaking for me. So I'm very fortunate to have a dad to hunt with.
I found it easier to hunt with them individually, and I was a little bit skeptical and also concerned about them both being together at the same time. They're very competitive, so we formulated a couple contracts that they had to sign to keep them in check as we did this hunt.
Going out and being able to hunt with my sister was actually really exciting because I've actually never been really hunting with my sister
Kylie's
before.
got to set up a little bit. She's got to put a set of shooting glasses on.
Yep.
We'll just take our time.
Yeah, no rush.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's ease in there and see if we can't sneak up and take our time and get set up.
Yeah.
I think stags are a lot cooler looking, even though like a fallow deer is kind of like a moose deer kind of thing. Cool. I had never known what a stag looked like until I got to this lodge, and they had like mounts everywhere on the wall, and I was just like, oh, so that's what it looks like. Yeah, I want to shoot one of those. Those are cool.
We picked one out with a drop tine, so it was quite obvious, and he was the lead stag, but he just never gave us that shot. He was quartering away, sort of with his bum to us the whole time.
It's the third one from the bottom now.
Okay.
Third one from the bottom.
Yep, got it.
130 yards.
230 yards.
Okay.
You got one.
Good shot.
You got
the right one?
It's the perfect one. Oh, good shot, honey. You got one.
Good shot.
You got
the right one?
It's the perfect one. Oh, good shot, honey. How do you feel?
I feel good. I just wanted to also thank Mike and Julie Deonda, because without them, I wouldn't be here right now. Making really good memories with my family and doing all this awesome stuff I've never been able to really envision myself being able to do. So thank you guys. I love my dad like more than you can imagine. He does a lot for me. Like, I can not name them all. I could go on and on and on forever and name what my dad has done for me and what he has done for our country and lots of other people. He has a very kind heart, and I'm really fortunate to have a dad like him.
Yeah, it's probably more intense for me than if I were behind the gun pulling the trigger myself. I mean, I actually almost get the same feeling that I had when I shot, when I was young and shot an animal. I'm trying to be calm and patient and talk Kylie through the shot, but inside my heart's racing 100 miles an hour, just as if I were the one pulling the trigger. So yeah, I enjoy it very much, and we're going to cherish the memories for obviously the rest of our lives.
We are going to try and get a nice stag.
Sun's trying to come out, so yeah, not too bad. Should be good.
My dad has taught me a lot about being able to take an ethical shot, but it's mostly about taking your time and breathing.
Animals. I would rather sit there and work with them and dial them in to harvest an animal than for me to go out and shoot, a new world record or whatever the case is.
Being able to have a dad that's so dedicated to spending time with me is a huge blessing, because growing up I didn't have him around a lot because he was always deployed.
It's just that type of bonding, I guess, that happens when you get to a certain point in your life. I'd rather have my kids shoot or my wife shoot something than me.
I didn't really know my dad very well, but recently it's been just overwhelming at how much time we spend together, and it's just wonderful. When we got onto the site of where all the animals and stuff were, it was kind of hard to see which stag I wanted to take because there was just horns everywhere. But when I saw the one I wanted to shoot, it was kind of obvious.
Reload, good shot.
The scope wasn't really working out with me because I haven't had a lot of experience with the gun that I shot. But I was able to shoot the stag, and it was really fun being able to know that I got a good shot and stuff.
It was a perfect shot. Good job.
Wow. He made a great shot. We enjoyed the whole experience, and we just really focused on that moment. And then the next thing we knew is Carl, our guide, said, "Hey, there's quite a fine stag behind us."
Oh, awesome. Best Father's Day ever. Best Father's Day gift I could ever hope for. Be with my daughter hunting in New Zealand. What do you think, McKenna? You happy?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I love how clunky he is.
The mass on these animals is amazing, and the character, each one of them is unique. Unlike the elk in North America, all of these have different sets of horns, different fingerprints, so to say. So the character on this bull is fantastic, or stag rather, it's fantastic, and I'm just thrilled with the whole experience overall. It's going to be a great representation for years and years to come of just a wonderful family adventure.
She lined up our shot, and I can only hope that Butch and I are leading by example in not rush to try and get the trophy or rush to get that one stag, but we're getting the one.
The highlight as a parent and a father, and seeing their emotion, feeling their emotion. I mean, I felt emotion that I hadn't felt since I was a kid.
We only have our children for so long in our hands, and we want to make as many memories as possible. These sort of memories are the ones that will last a lifetime for us.
We killed 2 great animals on the same day that just happened to be Father's Day. And again, we'll look back on that, and for the rest of our lives we'll talk about it. They're trying to confirm if they have weapons or not.
Eagle 6, Saber 3.
Roger, we're observing area, negative contact.
Saber 3, Eagle 6.
Where, if you find out where they are, negative contact, the north and south end, because I'm looking on some of their
All right, these guys definitely got weapons.
The wreckage of this life can build you or tear you down. What motivates you when there's no one else around?